So driving to Immanuel's house, view out of the window. This gives you an idea of what the township looks like on a Thursday morning. Loads of kids, loads of adults walking around, and loads of life. We went hunting for the keys for the shop. Somebody borrowed the shop area from him to store some bottles and some stuff a while ago. Apparently that's been removed, but he never got the key back, so we went hunting now for the key, because I also didn't answer the phone. So let's see if the key that we got now is actually working or not. Just to give you some background, because I often forget that there's people that's never seen my channel before. This is Im's garden, and so we built this garden this year. Morning, Vanessa. How are you today? Good, good. We're just coming to look at the shop quickly. Okay. And so we fixed this garden up from, it was just a bare pile of hard soil, and it's actually starting to bear fruit now for Immanuel and his children. And so this morning, the reason we are here is one of our viewers and friends from America, Mikon, wants to have a look at the shop and see whether we cannot revive this and change the shop into something viable, and as a business model for something Vanessa could be doing. So this is the inside. It's obviously dirty. It's been standing empty for a long time. Im said he's got an electricity problem in his house, so he's actually pulling power from the shop to get to his room. Alright, so things that we need to see is electricity is working, just need to replace some bulbs. Roof leaks. Immanuel, is the roof leaking? I see there's a couple of holes here. Can maybe put some pop and lap. The phone, but I see that thing is still getting water. The wood is still getting water. There's a hole there. I see that. So we can maybe just go up here and check what's happening here. Okay, and then Immanuel said this is coming from his bathroom in the house. We'll go there now. That is leaking. There's a little shop window here. Ims, would you prefer the shop window like this? Or would you prefer it like the other shops where all your things are inside and then you're standing at the big window and selling towards the outside?
I know they can. Inside like this, it's fine.
Okay.
You come inside.
And where do you put all your things?
Like here, I need to put some racks here.
You put shelves here, and then they collect, and then they pay here.
Then they pay here.
And theft? You don't theft?
No, they won't.
You think it will be fine? And will your wife be safe if she's working here?
Or we can see whether we put them there inside, but if you put them here, then people they won't see.
Yeah. If as long as you believe it will be safe, your area is relatively safe, I think. And the money is now hidden then behind the counter, and she's hidden there. I think that's fine. If you believe that she will be safe, then that's fine. And then maybe, depending on what we sell, maybe we can put a little table or something out here for people to sit.
This one is fine.
Okay, so this door locks, but that door is, just close it. That door is ruined. Completely ruined. We'll have to replace the door. It's a nice solid door, eh? It's very heavy, but yeah, it's broken. Okay, let's have a look quickly on the inside. Let's see what we can. Just remember, your daughter's still in the shop.
Okay. No, Injo.
Injo, will she be fine? Okay. The other thing that I forgot to mention about Vanessa, that Im's only told me this morning, is that she's actually a semi-pro athlete. She plays netball for a club. Okay, so this is the bathroom. They use a bucket to wash, and then that drain there. Sorry, the flash is, the focus is a bit bad in the lighting. That drain goes out. Show me your toilet as well, Ims.
toilet.
Yo, these plants are coming nicely, eh?
Yeah.
The cabbages are growing fast. The tomatoes are doing well, very well. Onions are doing well. The basil is looking fantastic. What's these purple flowers? Is that some of the flowers that we planted?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, some of them are.
Nice.
So here's the toilet.
Just 1 second, I see I get a call. I just had a call. Okay, so this room you're not using at all,
Yeah,
eh?
because the door is broken. Even the toilet thing is broken.
Okay. This side, is this the toilet you're currently using?
Now that pipe that from the shower,
Hmm?
just to bring my water from this.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the pipe once it filled up, it was, I don't know what was something there, maybe it was too dirty, then I tried removing to clean it up, then from there when I put it.
The pipe is broken.
The pipe is not broken.
So the pipe is no longer connected,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's when when we were bathing down there, that water used to come the outside or go inside there.
Okay, so if we fix this, if we change this toilet, what do we change it to? What can we do here to make it better?
Like yeah, unless we put another toilet pot.
Okay.
Yeah. And now this pipe.
But,
can be inside there.
A flushing toilet will not be nice for you, eh? Because the pit will fill up fast.
The problem, we don't have water to we cannot put a flushing toilet. That's the problem.
It's going to be a problem. Maybe check at the hardware stores what kind of toilet can look nice here. Okay. Right, and then what else is there to improve? I think the shop roof we can fix. We can maybe do some shelves. We can even maybe with some of that brandering that we got from that roof, put the carcasses for the shelves, and then we just put cut boards and put that on. That will probably be the cheapest if we use the recycled materials from that roof. Put the branding up like that, and then maybe stronger pillars inside with even with that wood still, and then we just put board on top. I think that cannot be impossible. And then obviously we have to stock it a little bit. But how's Vanessa's education? Reading and writing.
Yeah, it's very 100% fine.
Is it? Will she be able to do bookkeeping?
Yeah.
Check what comes in, what goes out. Check the money. Because I think if we do, like, if we fill it with stock later, or for instance, if we get vegetables from the farm, then it will be important to see whether the shop is profitable or not. Whether it makes money or not. Okay, I think we've seen everything. Okay, so this is the progress of Immanuel's cage yesterday. He put this fence up here. I have to buy him another zinc plate. And then he'll have to do from here. Close on this side as well. I said to him, if we cannot find chickens fast enough, then I'll give him some of mine for now. Some of the laying hens, but it would be nice actually if we can get small chickens first and they can start with their progress. Let me show you something. So in yesterday's video I mentioned that it started raining on the farm. There was just a couple of drops and soil was never even completely wet, but here in the township there's actually puddles lying around everywhere, so it rained much better than on the farm. And so these are the little bastards that the chickens need to get to. I think they will do a good job. I think they will get in here and destroy. I'll tell him to open them when he can watch his spinach. You don't want them to chow the spinach. And then maybe if we can buy him a bag of food, chicken food, you can put the chicken food like around the termites and have them eat that. Yeah. So that project at Immanuel's house will be happening the 25th of June. No, I'm sorry, 9 May. 9 May is the project at Immanuel's house. Quickly also want to show you all these lovely sunflowers. And then the most beautiful flower on the farm. You have to up your game these days. So wifey and I just came from the scrapyard, looking at things on how to improve these babies' lives. What we can do. Scrapyard, recycling yard is the new correct term for that place. As I drove back onto the farm for lunch, went to pick up the kids, I saw a nice picture and I want to show it to you, and then I want to tell you a story. So when I was young, I worked with lots of tourist guides. I was a horse boy in Mozambique, horse boy on an island first, and later on I became a dive master. But I met a guide that told me they were working in the Kruger National Park. You see these little cattle egrets. They walk between big game, and then they eat the insects that flies up, and they eat the ticks from the animals as well. And they often sit on the animal and check for lions and things like that. So as soon as they start flying and moving away, then the bigger animals know there's danger for them. I quickly want to see if I can get them. Not sure if you can see them on the camera. But anyway, so this guy took these tourists around, and they came. So they asked him, what's this? He said, cattle egret. And I saw them again, and I said, asked him again, asked what's that, and he said it's a cattle egret. And they drove past another couple, and they saw one on a giraffe, and the tourists asked him again, what kind of bird is that? And then he decided, you know, this is how they fit. I'm gonna tell them it's a cattle egret, so let's fix that. And said to them, you know what, that is such an amazing bird. That is called a African giraffe bird. And you know, then his mind started racing, and he started making up habitats and... Hello, child.
Hi.
Okay, I just quickly want to finish my video. And he said, you know, that bird stays on the giraffe, gets, you know, they live their whole lives on the giraffe. They eat the ticks, and when the giraffe drinks water, they hop down and they go drink water, and then they hop back on again. And it's only the males that fly around from giraffe to giraffe, and they mate with these females. And he said, do you know where those little two horns of the giraffe is? That is where they make the nest. And I thought, you know, very interesting way to treat guests. That I enjoyed the story so much. But I also had a guy that kept on asking me about these birds, and later on I just made up. Well, we were riding next to these lakes on the horses, and he would ask me, what's this bird, what's this bird? And later on I had no more ideas on what these birds were called. So I'd give them Afrikaans names, something like long-nosed white bird. And then I would say, in Afrikaans we call that a lang-neus witvoël. But I'm not sure what's the scientific name. And then the next one would be sitting in a tree bluebird, and so on. So yeah, he taught me some naughty things. I just thought that was a cool story. So the great track have started. We are moving out the chickens. Is the kids bringing them out? That one is not happy. Okay, give him some honey water. Okay, give him some honey water at them. Softly, Donna, softly. Work out. You guys can help them. I said put the box inside of the tent, and then take the chickens out. And then move the tent and move everything quickly. Was I softly, Bia? Softly, ne? We're cleaning a swimming pool today. And this house has actually got a nice history. This was the very first house that I stayed in Orchangu. And I changed the grey water pipes to throw out the water outside. Planted some papayas, etc. And asked the guy whether any of that's still there. He said no, none of that still exists. Back then it was the bank took it back from the previous owner, and we were renting from the bank. So when they sold it, we had to move. We only stayed in here for about 6 months, and I never had a chance to come back here. But it's interesting that all the things I did for the food forest back then, permaculture things that I did just because I wanted to, are all been repaired and restored to original. All the grey water is going into the drain and going out of town at the moment. Another cool thing about that house is we were staying in there for about 2 months. After 2 months, one night my wife walked into the kitchen and there was this guy standing. Now she screamed, he had a fright, ran, jumped through our laundry, jumped over the wall, and he was gone. Now I believed that I was awake the whole night, heard the dogs barking every now and then, checked and we went back to bed, etc. We had a very young baby back then, Mika was still very small. And anyway, woke up the next morning and our laptops were gone. Some of our bedding, what they did is they opened the deep fridge. We just processed some guy meat, so we had 2 whole gemsbok in the freezer there, loads and loads of meat, like our whole freaking 2 months worth of budget for meat, maybe more, was in the deep freezer. And they took all that meat, wrapped it up in blankets, lifted up our electric gate out of the way, carried all of that out. They just emptied the house, even though I believed I was awake the whole night. I wasn't. Somehow they got back in again. They had a sneaky way of opening the doors and got in and just emptied the house basically. Fridges and electronics was basically completely empty. So we learned to lock our doors a little bit after that. So today was quite a hectic day, but the chicks are resettled. Mika, careful not to make the sawdust wet. And so they're getting a little bit of sunshine for old time's sake, and then we're gonna add hot water bottles, and there's a teddy and things like that to keep them warm for tonight. And then hopefully tonight we'll have a better result. We're just filling up quickly all the water and all the food thingies. So tomorrow is Easter, so I hope you have a blessed Easter weekend. I will get out as many videos as I possibly can this week. I have been blessed by so many of you with the coffees for the various projects and just for myself and for general. I really do appreciate it. It takes so much weight off my shoulders when you guys do that. Special thanks to Mikon, huge donation. Andre B also contributed quite a lot. Beshy Andrews, thank you so much for your donation. Johnny B as a new member, and Andy Berlin for buying me coffees. The support last night was just incredible. Really just incredible. Brendo and Wolfgang. Look at all these sunflowers, yeah. And last but not least, Jurg P. Jurg, dankjewel. Thank you very much. Appreciate it so much. And with that, I hope you have such a blessed Easter weekend. Let me know what your plans are below, and then I am quite sure I will see you tomorrow. These things are popping up live now as well. Looks good.